My nursing journey. 2 months before graduating from high school, my friends and I started looking for potential universities that we would study in. One of which is University of Santo Tomas. I was actually pretty excited at that time since it is one of the universities in the Philippines that has unique architectural design. You look at the buildings and you feel as though you're being transported into a different era. That's how I felt about it, and I liked it. Since every single graduating student at that time is planning to take up nursing, I also did the same. I was not excited about it, but since everybody's doing it, I also did it. So I took the entrance exam. I knew from the very beginning that I would fail, not because I'm terrible in science, but because I don't find it interesting at all. Few weeks later, I got the results. Not to my surprise, it says failed. But to my surprise, they recommended a course for me that actually fit my exam score. And that is architecture, which is another scary story because I don't like math at all. I went to multiple universities, took lots of exams, but the thought of graduating from high school has not sunk in yet. So the trip to these universities for me was just a trip. I was not really taking it seriously at all. After graduating from high school, my parents decided to bring me back to UAE for a short vacation before I start my college journey. I thanked them for that because I knew it was going to be expensive, visa, ticket and stuff. I needed a break and quality time with my family, and it was given to me. It was a memorable moment, and that's something that I will treasure forever. 2006, the year that began my nursing journey. After my short vacation, my sister and I, along with our mother, we went to University of Perpetual Health System Delta. Yes, another university where we took the entrance exam. I believe my sister and I were both indecisive at that time on what to take up. She wanted to do something with singing. You know, I have something inside my head that has something to do with flying. A lot of things. We weren't able to boil it down to one specific course. We were both confused basically, so we let our mother decide for us. Nursing was at its peak. Everybody was doing nursing. We did nursing. Anyway, we took the entrance exam. We both passed the exam. I don't know how I did it. And I guess you guys are wondering why my sister and me are doing nursing at the same time. Well, because I went to the Philippines earlier than her, which allowed me to do high school for only 4 years, whereas for her, she stayed in the UAE, which made her do the K-12 program. Yes, my K-12 program na rin at that time. First year, I don't know, for some reason, this year reminded me of high school. The vibe of it, the subjects that we had to study were like the same subjects, almost the same that we had to learn during the last year of our high school, which is not exciting. Everybody was really feeling excited. I was feeling comfortable. New faces, new friends. I guess I was happy at the time, and besides, I get to do this with my sister. First year was basic. Second year, my heart skipped a beat when I saw anatomy and physiology. I was barely passing the quizzes. I was prepared to fail at that time. That's something that scared me because it is a mandatory subject for you to pass in order for you to be promoted to next year. I knew I needed an extra effort if I want to pass the year, so I isolated myself. During break time, I would go to the library. I would really put in so much effort so that I could get as much information as I could to pass the quizzes, to pass the exams. It was like a mismatch. It was like I was like forcing this relationship that is not going to happen at that time. It was hard. It was really hard. The efforts paid though, because I passed the year, not with flying colors, but I passed. It was a horrible year. Third year, there was a shift. The faces are seemingly different. I guess the pressure of anatomy and physiology really got to some of us, or to most of us. Everybody shifted course. Some of us have fallen. It's a brave thing to do, to shift course, because the time, the effort, the money, most especially the money that they put in this program for 2 years, and just to let go of that just like that is something brave and something scary. Yes, they're brave because I think they've come into terms that nursing is not really fully for them, so they've let go. But for me, something inside of me is completely unsure about this profession. It's like a love and hate relationship. I like it and I don't like it. Anyway, I was put in this new group of nursing students who were completely serious about this nursing thing. So into nursing, so passionate, really, you could feel the passion. I truly believe this is where surrounding yourself with the right people comes in, because when you're constantly surrounded by people who are so passionate, so positive about something, then ultimately you get the same vibe. Liver, kidney, heart, lungs, every single day. You get the same mindset. I've learned to love this profession because I'm surrounded by these people who are so passionate. I guess from the very beginning of their life, they already knew that this is what they want to do. And maybe this is also what I want to do, but I'm just completely unsure about it. I just needed that extra push, extra kick. And I guess that's what I needed. I passed the year. I had very good marks. Not exceptional. You know what? Extremely better compared to the last 2 years. Fourth year, the last year, it was horrible. I thought I hated anatomy and physiology, but nursing research was hell. You know what? I'm not absorbing as much as I would want to. There was just a lot of things going on, and on top of that, I had to complete major and minor cases which are mandatory for me to graduate. So just imagine the amount of pressure. Anyway, I was able to graduate. We were all able to graduate. I was happy. My parents were happy. To see my parents cry from joy seeing me and my sister graduate from college is a dream that every parents have for their children. We celebrated as a family, thanked the Lord God Almighty for His guidance, and asked for another blessing and grace for the upcoming Philippine Nursing Board exam. My sister and I enrolled in a nursing review center. Some people did self-review but mostly needed help like my sister and I. It was intensive, lecture after lecture. Nursing was at its peak at that time, so the review center had to rent cinemas, you guys, cinemas, in order to accommodate large numbers of reviewees. Not to mention the lighting, you guys. The lights were terrible. It was so dim and the temptation to sleep is real. So I slept twice, you guys, a day in the course of the 3 months review. Board exam. The test was divided into 5 parts. First day, I was confident. I knew I did well. Second day, not as confident. Difficult. It was difficult. There was pharmacology, there was community health nursing, there was anatomy and physiology, which is, yeah, I was kind of on the fence. I was 50-50, didn't know if I was going to pass. So we had to wait 2 months for the results. Another torture. You want to celebrate, but you can't fully celebrate because of the fear of what if I fail? And I feel like every single person at the time in the Philippines is taking up nursing. My neighbor's son, my neighbor's daughter, my neighbor's daughter's daughter, my neighbor's son's son. It's like, if I fail and they pass, it's going to be the talk of the town. So I was concerned. Results are in. I passed. But my sister didn't. My parents at that time were here in the UAE. They called me, they congratulated me, they were so happy for me, they are proud of me. They asked how my sister was doing at that time. I told them she was crying. She was devastated. My parents were crying as well. We were broken for her. My sister and I, we were very close. We did everything together. We started this journey together, and to see her fail and get left behind is very painful. But you know what? Just like any other family, we had to be strong for one another. Eventually, she was able to pass. A few months later, I started applying for a nursing position. The competition, it was tough. Applying for a job and not getting a call back is not disheartening, but it's just it's like a deep, like sigh, like it was mostly around 20 to 25 hospitals that I've submitted my CV to, and not getting a single call back is, I don't know how I felt at that time, actually. Was I angry at that time? Galit ba ako? Very understanding at that time. Sabi ko sa sarili ko, baka busy lang sila, baka bukas, baka next week. It was a long wait, and totoo din talaga to, guys, na if you have someone from the inside, like a recommendation, it would be much easier for you to land a job just because you know someone from the inside. And yeah, it's all politics. 2 months had gone by, wala pa ring phone call. Most of my friends are already working at this point. So, naiingit na ako. Oh my God, nagtatrabaho na sila, sumisweldo na sila, and here I am, umaasa pa rin sa aking allowance. And they're not even working as a nurse, They ventured into something totally different, which is, at that time, call center, guys. If you want to earn a good salary, call center it is. Every single person that I know of really jumped in the call center profession. Some got out, some really stayed. It is what it is. Eto na naman ako sa aking mga inner thoughts. Something was just saying na, just wait. And I was not even worried at the time because I was being still supported by my parents financially. So I guess yung mga friends ko kaya they started working is because maybe they have to support their family na. maybe April 9, 2011, I received a call from this small hospital asking me to come for an interview. I was so excited. It was like, at last, after a few months of waiting, I was so excited. I went to the mall, bought my first interview attire. I was dressed to kill. That was my moment to shine. I was then interviewed by a lady probably on her mid-40s. The first thing she said to me was like, "You look good." And I choked. You know, I was like, didn't know what to say, really shy, young. Like, I came well dressed, but when it comes to answering her questions, I was like... And then she proceeded in asking me if I could do a volunteer job since they don't have any vacancy at the moment. So I was silent for a while because I know what that means. That means you get to do the work but don't get paid. A single penny you don't get paid for any allowance, nothing at all. Volunteer. Purely charity work. So that's it. You know what? At this point, I was already frustrated because of all the hospitals that I've applied for, 20 to 25 hospitals, and not getting a single callback. And here it is, an opportunity for you to learn. And I wasn't even really worried about not getting compensated at that time because my parents were still supporting me. My parents were like so supportive as well na, yes, mag-experience ka lang, go for the experience, don't worry about the money, we will support you. Basically, I need the experience because I want to feel confident in myself, in my skills, in my knowledge, that if ever that I would be a nurse or a real nurse na employed nurse, that I'm already skilled, knowledgeable. 5 months later, I received a call from another hospital asking me to come for an interview. Of course, I was excited, so I went. This time around in a casual attire, but I'm more prepared mentally for the possible questions that they would ask me. Anyway, during interview, once again, they asked me if I would be willing to do a volunteer job position since they don't have any vacancy at the moment. And if ever there would be a vacancy, the ones who were doing the volunteer job at that time, and there were lots and lots of us, we are going to be considered for that vacant position. But it was not a guarantee. Anyway, the thought that was going through inside my head at that time was that this is such a big hospital. I was telling myself, Michael, just imagine the amount of cases that you would be exposed to. It was not a question, it is more of a yes, I am willing to join even as a volunteer nurse. The next day, I went to this hospital where I'm currently volunteering in, and I just told them, just for formality's sake, that I would be not continuing with them anymore since I found this new hospital. Even though they didn't say that they were mad at me, but you could see it in their faces like, you used us. I felt bad, but anyway, I'm not tied to any contract, I'm not tied to any legal papers, so it was easy for me to go. A week later, I joined this big hospital. The knowledge and skills that I gained from this small hospital was clearly not enough and at par with the seasoned nurses that I am currently working with. It was just like a totally different atmosphere. Everything is just so leveled up. I was so excited, so challenged and eager to learn because every single day there would be a new case, and I was like, this is it. Months and months have gone by. I still feel the excitement to learn, but you know what? Deep inside, I felt somehow sad. I'm not speaking in behalf of the other volunteer nurses at that time, but it felt as though I am the illegitimate child and these employed nurses are the legitimate ones. Because you know what? Every single day at the end of the month, whenever they receive their salary, they would always talk about going somewhere, buying these new things, and whenever I hear those, you know what? I don't know. It made me feel unappreciated for the things that I do. When will I be employed? When will be the day? Already 8 months since I've been working in this institution, but still, I'm not hearing anything. I don't know, it's such a weird environment. It feels as though you have responsibility, but you don't really have a responsibility because you're not employed. So, I went to apply in an online English teaching program where I teach English subject to Korean students who are located in Korea. Basically, we communicate through Skype. I teach them English. That's basically it. When I went for the interview, they liked me, so I was hired instantly, and I will never forget the feeling of signing my first ever contract. That feeling was just so liberating because I saw the salary that I would be receiving. It's not that much. It's around 7,000 pesos. It's mine. I earned it. Pinagtrabahuhan ko yun. You feel like you're being rewarded for something that you do, and it feels good. And at the same time, I was also happy because I'm sharing my knowledge to these small kids that would eventually, you know, turn to be adults in the future. I did this routine for about a year and a half until I received a call from my parents asking me to come back to UAE to try for the UAE licensure examination. I was completely shocked at that time because I was not prepared for that call because I was still enjoying what I was doing. Even though it was difficult, I was enjoying it. I liked it, but at the same time, I have to move forward. So I went to this hospital, the big hospital where I was working, and asked the administration whether they could provide me an employment certificate. And they are kind enough to provide me with an employment certificate, but it's not really an employment certificate because it doesn't say employed, but more of a volunteer nurse, and it says specifically volunteer nurse, not part of the roster list of employees. 2012, I went to UAE, processed my papers. I thought it would be easy to file for an exam, but since there were lots of foreign nurses filing, it took me some time before I was able to book for an exam. 2013, a year later, I was able to land a schedule, did self-review, and I was able to pass. I thought everything would go smoothly from then on because I already have a UAE license, but I was wrong. I was completely wrong because you know what, being a male nurse here in the UAE and looking for a nursing job in the hospital is extremely difficult because the priority is more for the female nurses who can handle both male and female patients. Since this is a Muslim country, I know I could apply for a paramedic job or a home care, but my focus is more on the hospital setting because this would help me if I would want to migrate to another country. July 1, 2013, I received an unexpected call from a private hospital asking me to come for an urgent interview. My father drove me there. It was a short interview and I was hired instantly. But since I have a tourist visa, I have to exit to a nearby country in order for them to cancel my existing visa and provide me with a new visa, which is the employment visa that I need in order for me to work here in the UAE. The secretary told me that it would only take 3 days for my employment visa to be released and that I don't have to bring much with me since it's only a short trip. I took it literally, so I only brought 3 pairs of shirt, 3 pairs of pants, 3 pairs of undies, a towel, and some toiletries. That's it. First day in the island of Kish. When I arrived to my room, I thought it was going to be my room, but I had to share it with 9 other people. It was an experience because guys, sobra yung space namin, it's like too small and the beds are very near to each other. It's like one bed is here, the other bed is here, the other bed is here, the other bed is here. And on top of that, yung hindi ko talaga guys kinaya is yung mga bed bugs. There were bed bugs, not even bed bugs. It's like big bed bugs. And yung unang sinabi sa akin ng mga kasama ko dun sa kwarto is that, pre, pagkatapos mo isettle yung mga gamit mo, punta ka dun sa sa supermarket, bili ka ng ng black plastic bag kasi kakailanganin mo mamaya yan pag natulog ka. I was like, para saan? Just imagine this is a bigger black plastic bag. Ang gagawin ko guys is isusuot ko yung sarili ko dito sa loob. Yan, isusuot ko yung sarili ko sa loob. And until it reaches to this point na nasa rig ko na siya, ang gagawin ko is gaganunin ko siya. And that's how I sleep. Just to prevent the bed bugs from biting me. Ganun siya kalala. Hindi sila mawala-wala. Kahit anong spray, nandun pa rin. Second day in the island of Kish. I toured the island thinking that I will be receiving my visa anytime soon. And my God, the island was... It was so beautiful, you guys. And the people were like, yung tipong Angelina Jolie, Megan Fox, Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, yung tipong ganun mga level, guys. Yung third day in the island of Kish, the day that I was waiting for. I waited the whole day for the visa that did not arrive. I was very calm, not concerned, but there was a question of why. Why it did not arrive. I was very understanding. I said to myself, baka tomorrow, baka bukas. So I waited. Fourth day in the island of Kish, I sent an email to the hospital as to why my visa is still not released, but I didn't get any response. Still not very concerned, trying to remain calm, I waited the next day. Fifth day in the island of Kish, I sent another email and they responded. They don't know as to why it's taking time. They're completely unsure. It should have been released already. They don't know what was going on. At that moment, there was a slight race in my heartbeat. I remained calm and I waited the next day. Sixth day in the island of Kish. My roommates started receiving their employment visa. Most of them are already packing up their things, preparing to leave. And to be completely honest with you, I was crying inside. Is this where I will... Seventh day in the island of Kish. My roommates left and new faces started arriving. This was the time I was having an internal cry. Like, Lord, please Lord. To cut the long story short, I stayed in Kish Islands for 2 months. Met lots and lots of people, heard different types of life stories, both happy and sad, bitten by small and huge ass bed bugs, hospitalized for 2 days due to food poisoning, almost had a mental breakdown with my 3 pairs of shirt, pants, underwear, a towel, some toiletries. I survived. You know what? I survived. There are other worse stories out there, but this is mine, and I'm thankful that ito lang yung pinagdaanan ko. Meron pang ibang tao na may mas pinagdaanan pang mas worse. When I received my visa, I went back to UAE immediately, headed straight to the HR department of the hospital. You know what? The sad part was, if I could remember, I didn't even hear a single sorry from them, but they were shocked when they saw me because I've lost significant amount of weight since nagkasakit nga tayo during our last few days dun sa island. I just proceeded with the papers kasi ayoko na magtanong pa kung bakit, why it took you so much time to provide my visa. I didn't want to have those questions kasi baka maudlot pa or baka bawiin nila yung visa ko. Being young and naive, that's what I was thinking, na baka bawiin nila yung visa ko, guys. November 9, 2013, I was assigned in the port clinic. It's like the subsidiary branch of this big hospital kung saan nga ako na-hire, guys. But since kulang yung staff nila dito sa port clinic na to, dun muna ako nilagay. Temporarily daw. Well, basically, yung duty ko is to cater medical services exclusively to seafarers, guys. Kung dun sa lahat, guys, may emergency, my doctor and I, we have to attend to that. If may mga drug and alcohol testing, yung mga companies ng mga vessel na yan, kapag nag-order sila na, oh, itest mo yung vessel namin kung lahat ba ng tao dyan clear sa alcohol, I have to go to that vessel kahit anong oras pa yan, this oras pa yan ng gabi. Iba siya, guys, sa salary mo. It's more like an incentive. Yes, it's like an incentive. So just imagine, if masipag kang umakyat-akyat ng barko, just imagine how many vessels are those, and you can really save up and really earn much more than what you're really earning from your basic salary. So, well, anyway, pinagtiisan naman natin yung guys for 2 years until I receive a call from another hospital. March 29, 2015. I joined this new hospital, completely overwhelmed of all the things that I need to know, but the fuel to learn and to prove myself is much more than the fear of being looked at as an inexperienced nurse. Kahit gaano pa kahirap itong journey na to, na where I'm at right now, I keep on going because when you love what you do and when you're happy with what you do, no matter how difficult the situation is, you will come out of it kasi mahal mo yung ginagawa mo. So I told myself, if ever I would be given the opportunity to grow old in this industry and teach young and upcoming nurses, then it would be my great pleasure to nurture these future nurses because they are the future. I believe if you instill knowledge and skills in a very harmonious way, not bragging, not bullying, you will be able to produce nurses who are happy, who are confident, who are competent with their skills because of this positivity. If the nurses feel like they're well taken care of, they will work harder to provide quality patient service. That's basically it. It's all give and take. If you're a student nurse, still unsure of this journey, but something inside of you feels somehow connected to this profession, then give it some time. Maybe, just maybe this is the path for you. Because that's what I did. But if you feel strongly disconnected and pressured by the people around you, then stop. Because you don't want to do something for the rest of your life that does not satisfy you. That's how you become unhappy and constantly complains about everything that happened in your life. Take control. Don't blame anyone. That's it for this vlog. My name is Michael. I'm an OFW nurse based here in United Arab Emirates. This is my nursing journey.